Can you walk us through the touchdown drive and then the play that was allowed and subsequent to that?
Yeah, the touchdown drive, obviously, a lot of empty, a lot of quick game, and Trenton was just a distributor. Our guys were feeling the zones and getting open on some option routes, which was a positive. Ran a wheel to Geo there versus thirds, or my fault. It was their two-man match, whatever, two-eye defense, and got the wheel route one-on-one, got it to him, got PI, and then we finished with a one-on-one fade to the field from FIB, a play we ran earlier that we tried to throw on third down in the, I believe, second or third quarter, and it was incomplete. So it was a good drive. Really proud of those guys for responding. We were in a similar situation last week, and we didn't get that done. So to respond in that scenario and drive down the field was a positive. And then obviously I'd have to go back and watch the tape. It was to the field. I don't know or the opposite side of the field from me where I was on, so I'd want to go back and watch the tape to see what happened there on the big play.
Michelle Gardner, Arizona Republic. It didn't seem like Cam Scadaboo got a lot of touches in the first half. Was he banged up? Were you guys trying to minimize, the banging he had the last few games?
Yeah, he was out all week. He didn't practice. He was sick and then had a few other banged up injuries. So we were trying to get some of the young bucks rolling a little bit, and kind of, we couldn't use him as the lead dog like we could, because obviously he was sick, and then he had a few ailing injuries.
Coach Caleb Campetto, Devil's Digest coach, you talked about this week about playing to player strengths, and you got Elijah Badger in space. Trenton was very distributive with the football. Your defense really emphasized their presence in the front. Would you say that tonight, although the outcome isn't what you wanted, that the players and you plan to play to their strengths like you wanted?
Yeah, I would say yes. I thought our defense played really well all night. I mean, they held them to 295 yards on 72 plays. We outgained them by 100 yards, and this is kind of what I told our guys. We were better on third and fourth down situations. We scored in the red zone, but none of that matters. What matters is when the game's on the line. What matters are the biggest plays of the game, and what really shows up. Winning football teams make the plays when the games are on the line, and right now we're not getting that done. And I got to do a better job as a coach trying to simulate those scenarios. That way, when the game is on the line, right? Are we making those plays, and how do we get our guys to make those plays? Because the last 2 weeks we've played winning football. We've won every category, but we haven't won the game, and we really got to look at why and what guys should be on the field when the game is on the line. And that's another thing we got to look at.
Hey, Coach. Coach Michael Carasino, Pitchfork Lunch. When you talking about the defense, obviously early on getting the sacks, you said obviously Shedeur is going to be tough to handle, but to be able to sack him like that, what do you feel that they were having problem adjusting to with you guys up front, just with getting the domination like you guys said?
Yeah, I mean, they're a five-step team, and we had a good beat on when they were going to five-step, just in terms of down and distances, and I thought Coach Ward was putting our guys in good situations to attack when they were in their five-step world. So I thought it was good scheme by Coach Ward combined with our guys. We have pretty good rushers, and I thought they did a really nice job pressuring the quarterback.
And I know you're not going to tell us everything, but what did you say to Ed after obviously a tough call, getting the targeting call on the punt return there?
Yeah, I mean, he's not needed, right? Today we always do a football 101, and our football 101 on Friday before we left was shielding blocks. And then we go and get a blindside block. And just not winning football. That's a great example of not winning football. And you're not going to win games doing things like that. And, it's a good learning experience for him. But those are critical plays in the game. I mean, we had more personal fouls in this game than all of our games combined. I mean, and we talked about it going into the week that Colorado leads the country in getting teams to create personal fouls against them. And we talked about it Monday, we talked about it on Friday, and we fell right into it.
Hey, Coach. Early in the fourth quarter, 3rd and 6 from your own 29, you decided to run it there. Just What went into that decision to run there and not pass in that situation?
We were struggling protecting. So the prior drives, we were struggling. They were in a 2 Tampa-ish look that they were playing in a lot of 3rd and 5 pluses. And the prior situations like that, we were struggling. So you get a 5-man box. You should be able to bomb it and hand it versus soft box and have a really clean run. Just more of a philosophy thing. In other games we've done the same thing and been successful in 3rd and long. So knowing we were going to get a soft box and a cloud coverage, we felt like 5 for 5 in the box. It's a good opportunity to pop one.
Hi, Coach. Blake Neiman, Cronkite Sports. Heading into this bye week after a couple of close losses and knowing that a top 10 team in Washington is on the schedule ahead, what are you looking to get out of this bye week to improve upon and get over that hump?
Healthy. I'm looking to get healthy. I think we're out 9 or 10 starters that we projected to go into the year, and our guys are battling. And that's what I tell them. Nobody cares. But what do I want? I want to get some guys back. I want to get healthy. And I want to continue. I want our guys to show up to academics on time. I want them to show up early. I want them to show up to meetings 10 minutes early. I want to do all the little things that are necessary to win. And that's really what I'm looking for.
Sammy Newt, Devil's Digest. Coach, you said earlier this week that the key to creating more turnovers would be up front and creating that chaos. Well, today you guys created a bunch of chaos and still weren't able to turn the ball over. What's the next step in order to – is it just luck?
No, it's just we're not creating turnovers. When the ball hits our hands, there's times we don't catch it. And then when the ball does come out, there was a fumble today that we didn't recover on a 3rd down sack that they fell on that just kind of oozed out, and the O-lineman was right there. So they'll come. The turnovers will come. Unfortunately, they haven't come yet. And, I think we're dead last in the country, or we're definitely low in the country. And turnovers created, and our defense is playing great. But that is a category we got to get better at. Offense protected the football today, which is great from that standpoint.
Hey, Coach, Jordan Ham, Sports 360 AZ. When you're playing winning football, but the wins aren't coming, I'm sure there's a frustration that can happen. How are you keeping these guys up and together through the bye week?
Yeah, that's easy. Up and together. Are you competitive? Or for lack of a better word, are you a loser? Are you going to go compete and go get better, or are you going to quit? It's very, very simple. So in terms of getting guys motivated to play, if we have to get guys motivated to go practice and motivated to go play, this is not the place for you, right? Like I said, I've been in this exact scenario. Year 1, taking over a program, you just can't find out how to win. Don't know how to do it yet. You're trying to find a way. Every single time there's an opportunity, you find a different way to lose, right? When it clicks, we're playing winning football, but we're not winning, which means we're very, very close, and you don't know when it's going to click. You don't know. But when it clicks, we're ready for it because we're playing significantly better football than we did at the start of the year. And I think for the guys, it's, are you going to continue to compete or are you going to quit? And there's really only one option. You go back to work and you compete to get better, 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 better. And eventually, right, the bamboo that nobody can see is going to grow. Very simple. You just can't see it, but the growth is happening.
Hey, Kenny, Seymour, Thunderbolt Source. There was a lot of openings in the passing game today. Trent was getting the ball out to the to the pass catchers. What were you just kind of seeing in that, and what do you feel like kind of contributed to some of that success?
Obviously, right now we're struggling running the ball in general. So even tonight, just looking at the numbers, I think we're under 4 yards a carry, right? Which is, that's not, in today's day and age in football, that's not going to lead to many extended drives because of those, there's just as many zeros and ones. So it was, how do we play to our players' strengths? I've always been a guy that runs the ball, but I'm not going to be stubborn at the same time. And right now our players' strengths is Badge is getting the ball in space, right? Trenton is facilitating in quick game. O-line, it's, get the ball out quick and protect us a little bit. Sean was in there as a true freshman battling his butt off. Kudos to him. There was a time we started the second half. There was a time in the second half where we're out there on offense and there's 3 true freshmen on the field. Right, and I'm like, guys, that's pretty cool. We're in a game versus a really good football team with 3 true freshmen on the field on offense right now, right? And I think that's really why we are playing the style of ball we are on offense is it just fits our strengths.
Coach, when you come down to the end there and it's 3 minutes to go and you score a touchdown that fast, how do you get your guys, your defense, back on the field that fast and just like trying to get that stop? You weren't able to do that today, but what do you have to do in the future to just get your guys to get back on the field that quickly to get that stop that you need at the end of the game?
Yeah, I think just understanding situations of there's 40 seconds left. They have 2 timeouts. Their field goal kicker has struggled with long field goals. So they're going to have to go 50 yards-ish, 45, 50 yards, that if we keep everything in front of us, we get 1 sack, which we've got all night, make them drive the field patiently, that we could have a chance to go into overtime. So it's more situational awareness in terms of what we need to do in those 2-minute scenarios with how much time's on the clock.
Yeah, Coach, kind of building off Jordan's question, there's a lot of guys after a loss like this want to go get after it. They want to go to the weight room, and there's some guys that just want to reflect, and there's some guys that just need to eliminate the football for a night. But what has been the learning experience for you as a head coach to kind of gather the guys? And you said if you don't want to show up for practice and don't be here, but what has the learning experience been like on how to kind of facilitate yourself and a lot of those roles for your players and kind of, hey, starting Sunday or Monday, it's time to get after it even in a bye week?
Yeah, I think that's just, leadership is example driven. I could get up there and say whatever I want to say. If I don't show up with an attitude to get better, if I don't show up and show them the mistakes that I made in the game, right? I just show their mistakes and I act like I'm perfect. What kind of leader am I? So I think just showing back up Monday and showing them how we can improve with an attitude of time to get better. That's the only way, is you lead by example. And I think guys just want to see the example and they'll follow. And I think our team has some guys who do lead and have some guys that are competitive. And we're going to just go back to work.
Jonah Krell, Cronkite Sports. There wasn't a ton of Jaylen Conyers tonight. Do you have an update on what he was going through?
Yeah, he missed Wednesday and Thursday practice. He was sick, so he was out Wednesday and Thursday. And just hard to play in the game, when you're out 2 days of practice. When we were doing a lot of shifts and motions and some unique things offensively.
Kenny, you had more inside 20 pins in the punt game than the whole season, and for a large stretch of the game, you won the field position battle. Can you just speak to that, and also maybe the return that they had?
Yeah, obviously that was great, being able to pin them. We missed an opportunity on one. They said didn't have 5 guys, had 5 guys in the backfield. I'd have to go watch the tape on that because I thought both our guys stepped up on the line on Scat's first boom or first big punt. But that was huge for us to change the game there. I thought we punted the ball extremely well. I think the combination of offensive punt, I think Scat's punt was 53 yards, his one, which flipped the field, and our others were 41.7. So that was huge for us. But and in terms of the huge punt return, we had 4 dudes down there. We just lost leverage on the guy. But we were in perfect position, just had lost leverage. We got to make sure we go back and coach and do more drills that emphasize keeping leverage, especially when you have 4 guys up there. We did them in fall camp in terms of creating a V when you attack the guy 2 yards behind him, 2 yards outside. We almost all got on the same level, and you want to create a V when you're attacking a punter in that scenario, not a straight line. So maybe we got to go back to the fundamentals this bye week and do some more fundamental drills to get that fixed, because that was a huge play in the game.
So you mentioned the penalties and how Colorado draws a lot of them. Was there something specific that they were doing, or was it on your end? And do you think that your guys held your emotions in check against such an anticipated game?
Nothing they do. Okay. Those guys played a good game for them. They coached a good game. They got their guys playing really hard. It just came down to, we made stupid decisions, and I'm going to have to go back and watch some of those to see what they are, because I didn't really see all of them. I saw Ed's, but I saw BJ's, but where, said he tackled him to the ground or took him to the ground. But other than that, I got to go back and see some of those personal fouls.
Andrew Lowski, House of Sparky. Where is the creativity for that touchdown play for Trenton Burgett, the formation on that? Then you guys previewed it later in the game. Haven't really seen anything like that. Where'd that creativity come from?
Well, we're struggling running the ball on 3rd and 1, 4th and 1. So let's move everybody away and run the ball. That was literally the thought process behind it was, we're struggling, like doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result, right, isn't the answer. So, like, we get paid to coach. So let's coach and let's be creative. And it's not conventional. It's not, what you necessarily want to do, to be honest. But sometimes you got to be creative.
Coach, I mean, I get what you're saying, struggling with the ball, but this performance alone from the offensive line, I mean, obviously guys staying out there working together, like you said, 3 freshmen, but just your overall thought from just their whole performance from beginning to end of this game.
Yeah, I thought our O-line battled. I mean, we were really going in with 5.5, 6 guys that we wanted to play in the rotation, which is, you want to play 8 normally in rotation, but we're going in with 5 guys, and the 6th guy didn't practice, so he was just kind of helping us out and battling Cade, and I was pleased with how they played. I mean, we gave up a few sacks, but I was really pleased with the way those guys battled. I mean, those guys, they're battling. I mean, Leaf was sick all week. Leaf is battling his own injuries, and he's going out there and playing really well and playing at a high level. I mean, having a true freshman in there at guard. We moved a guard out to tackle who practiced all fall camp at guard is now our starting tackle. And it's just, I'm proud of the way those guys are battling, and that's just all you can ask for them.
Coach, HowSparky.com, Matt Venezia. You've talked about the bamboo that you're building, throughout the young part of your career here at ASU. Back-to-back home sellouts, I think, for the first time since 2007. You've spoken it into existence, but how relieving is it to see it happen, that this place gets filled up for some of these big events?
Yeah, I mean, we just got to continue to do it. I mean, I think the last 2 games here, I would hope the fans could not only see the growth of the program and the direction we're heading, but they can see the fight of our guys, and they can see how it's an advantage to have them here. They can see how college football is fun when it's a sold-out crowd, that this is a great environment that we can create here, and that if everybody who showed up the last 2 weeks shows up again, we can create another really exciting environment, another competitive advantage, and we will win football games. We will win a lot of football games. There is zero doubt in my mind that we're going in the right direction. There is zero doubt in my mind that we're going to win at a really, really high level here, and I'm really excited for it. But the times of when that's going to happen, that's just going to happen when it happens. And so I commend the crowd, commend the fans. I appreciate it. And let's continue to show the support of our guys. I said before the season, through the good and the bad, our guys need the support. Our guys need our fan base. Our guys need butts in seats. Now more than ever, they got to know when they take the field that it still matters. They got to know more than ever that they have the support of the fan base to build this thing the right way. And we're getting close, but we're not there yet.
Cronkite Sports Coach, throughout the season, you've been very aggressive at times. You've talked about your philosophy with 4th downs, and we've seen the creativity that you've used in certain plays. Was there ever a thought on your end to go for 2 after you guys scored that touchdown, or was playing for overtime the goal?
Yeah, no, that was never a thought. Being at home, and then with 40 seconds left in the game, you actually increase intensity. You increase the aggressiveness of an offense. So if you go for 2 and get it, they're going to be more aggressive. So statistically, you don't want them to be more aggressive. So if they were to get into a 4th and 2 scenario on the minus 42, you've enticed them to now go for that if you have a 1-point lead instead of a tie game. If there would have been 15 or 20 seconds left, there would have been deeper thought. But with 40 seconds left, I don't want to entice a more aggressive mindset on offense, in which if the field goal would still win the game. I'd rather entice, if we get them to a 4th down, a punt scenario, take it to overtime. And then in the same token, they've had, unfortunately, we had a punt blocked. I felt the dude was offsides on the punt block or on the field goal block. They've had 2 field goal blocks this year, so I felt like that was an advantage for us. So if we got into an overtime game, I felt like that was something that could show up for us, was the kicking game back and forth, and the field goal, trading field goals was an advantage to us. Obviously, we got a field goal block today, I'm going to have to go back and see if that guy was offsides because I felt like he was offsides, and that was a critical moment in the game. But we still have to do a better job stepping and punching at the wing.